We're going to pass off this job to Dave McElhatton and Wendy Takuda. But Dave and his wife, Bonnie Chastain, were on the bridge this morning, crack of dawn. They were one of the first people across.
And there's some question of whether they're really going to get this bridge clear by 10 o'clock this morning. I would imagine if you're planning on getting to Marin or coming from Marin to San Francisco and you want to be there by 10:30, well, maybe your plans should change because we don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. But we are having a good time this morning, and we're going to go to the helicopter now, high in the sky with Jim Bunn. Jim.
Well, Ann and Ross, if we take a look outside the chopper here, you can see that this is one of the ways they are getting those people off the bridge. That long white line you're taking a look at down there are about 75 AC transit buses. And those buses are being loaded as quickly as possible. And what they're doing is they are taking people out back up north on Highway 101, and they're taking people off to places like the Marin City Flea Market, and they are dropping them off at the Marin Civic Center as well as a number of other different locations. So they are getting people out of there, but to find out how things are going down on the bridge, let's check in with Doug Murphy. Murph?
Jimmy, where are you? I'm looking for you. I can't see you, Jim. Jim, we do see something we haven't seen all day up here. Look at this. I don't know if Rick can see this, but we can finally see the concrete. The crowd here in the middle of the bridge is cleared away, and people are really taking advantage of it. You got to come back here for a minute. These folks are having a little champagne party back here. Nice idea, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. We're having a good time.
No, I can't drink. Thank you right now. We're working here. You're the organizer of this.
Yeah, right.
Is this a first?
This is a first and a last.
And a last. I hope so. I hope you're out of here by the time traffic starts.
So do I.
Bye. Everybody is really in a festive mood. They're all out here in the middle. We have nobody has an estimate yet on how many people are on the bridge, but we have a man up here whose wife was here in 1937. She was one of the original people that walked on the bridge. If I can see him through the crowd. I think he has an estimate. Here he is. Sir, what was that estimate again on the crowd?
800,972. I just finished the count, and that includes 46 babies.
46 babies. You heard 800,000 something, something, something. You were here on the opening day 37.
I was here opening day 37, and I have ate my lunch sitting right there. We're looking right at the spot, the famous spot.
Was the crowd this big then?
No, not at all, and it was very well behaved.
Oh, they were well behaved today.
All the gentlemen were in suits, and the ladies, there were no such things as slacks and pants to be worn in public. No, but this is much more fun.
Yeah, I know, and it's warmer too. Thanks a lot, and thanks for coming back. Thanks for the estimate. We have just one more thing I want to show if we can. This has become the fad out here today. Can you guys step aside just a little bit? He's scratching his name in the little markers on the road that kind of mark the. How you doing? Okay. Why are you putting your name in there?
So I was here.
So he was here. It's a heck of an idea. People are doing it all over, and they'll probably be worn off by the middle of the afternoon. Ann and Ross, that's the story from the middle of the bridge. Back to you.
Boy, never a dull moment there. Scratching your name on the bridge. That's not a bad idea.
Well, they were doing that 50 years ago, and hopefully not many folks are doing that today because the painters are home not wanting to get back to that much work. But can you imagine what it must be like to sit on that middle lane and have a picnic and drink a little glass of champagne, knowing what the traffic is on most days on the Golden Gate Bridge?
Something certainly you can tell your grandchildren.
Certainly can. After this commercial break, we'll be back with more. What it looks like on the Golden Gate Bridge.
They tell us they're going to try to gently encourage these people to get off the bridge. There are buses on the Marin side waiting to take people to various locations, the flea market and various parking lots.
California Highway Patrol has some very good ways of gently forcing you off that bridge.
They do.
You know, there are a lot of activities going on around the Bay Area, and one way you can not only enjoy the activities but also help some other people is to help Bay Area police departments and Safeway stores gather canned food. If you're going to Crissy Field or any of the major event areas, bring a can of canned food. Their goal is to collect 1 million cans of food for the hungry of the Bay Area.
A worthy thing to do on this day when we're all festive and celebrating. Well, we want to tell you that we're going to be back with more cut-ins and more of this exciting celebration. But right now, back to the CBS Morning News with Charles Corral.
difficult for David to hear at that height.
David. Ann and Ross, I am here on the west side of the South Tower, and it is, well, it's protected over here, which is kind of nice. We're not really in the wind that we were a little bit earlier this morning. Let's take a look right now down at the crowd, and I will do one of my least favorite things from up here. I will look straight down. Ooh, that is just something. 746 feet down to the water, 500 feet down to the bridge deck, and I'll let you know that right underneath the South Tower on the bridge deck itself, we have people camped out. I see people in sleeping bags and a lot of people milling about on bicycles and with baby carriages and the usual that we've seen all morning, moving back and forth. Now, as you can also see, the crush of people is headed toward the toll plaza. They're trying to get off the bridge now. They're just finally starting to pass through the toll plaza. The Highway Patrol has been trying to get people to leave the bridge, and they just haven't been able to do it until now. Just within the last few minutes, we've seen people starting to filter back down Doyle Drive, back out into the Presidio. Some success now just getting that mob to move. As we've mentioned to ourselves, standing up here on top of the tower, 500 feet above the roadbed, it's looked like just a human carpet down below. There's been almost no room to see any pavement for the last hour and a half. It is a solid wall of heads. We've taken a look through the binoculars. There is no way you could move within that crowd. It is just wall-to-wall people. I'm surprised they can even breathe in some cases. They're pushed so closely together. Anyway, that's the scene from here. The center span area, which we'll show you a little bit later this morning, in just a little while, has already cleared, and that has had some success in clearing out. So they've had a good success over on that side. But again, nobody moving very easily off this side, and also nobody moving off on the north side. Now back to Sherman House and Ann and Ross.
Thank you very much. Oh, it made my hands tickle just to look at those shots up there from the South Tower.
He doesn't even like to look over the side. Why did he want that job? That's what I don't understand.
He's a very brave man. And, you know, you probably saw the helicopter go in your screen there. And Jim Bunn's in that helicopter. Let's go to Jim right now. Jim?
Well, Ann and Ross, we have a little bit of disturbing news. We have confirmed that there are 2 reports of heart attacks on the bridge. Now, I want to show you one of the problems that ambulance workers are dealing with here. You can take a look down there. And if we can just go ahead and zoom in, you can see that little white dot there by the toll plaza. That's the ambulance. Now, the problem is that one of the heart attacks has occurred further up the bridge by the South Tower. There we've got a static shot of the ambulance. Now, if we can cut back, there we go. This wall of people is making it almost impossible for the paramedics to get to the heart attack victim. Now, we're going to be heading further north up toward Vista Point, where there's a report of another heart attack. And hopefully we'll be able to have a little bit better information for you up there, and hopefully things are not quite as congested up there. But that's the first bit of disturbing news that we've had this morning. Ann and Ross, back to you.
Thank you, Jim. It is disturbing news, and I'm sure there are a lot of portable television sets out there on the bridge. And if you heard what Jim just said, and you see that ambulance, make way so we can take care of those folks who are in need. We're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back to the Sherman House and the celebration of the 50th birthday of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Wall to wall. Let's go to Sherry Hu at the update desk and find out how the traffic is around the Bay Area and the city. Sherry?
And Ross, thanks. We have late word from San Francisco Police and Metro Traffic Control now. The street closures are spreading, at least on the west side of the city. Police say Park Presidio Boulevard is now closed all the way south to Lake Street. Now, originally, the boulevard would be closed only around the upper part of the Presidio, but the MacArthur Tunnel and the boulevard is now being closed all the way south to Lake Street in the Richmond district because of the huge crowd on the bridge. And earlier, we told you about the problems at the Embarcadero BART station. Now, BART did a good job of delivering riders, only to find that Muni was overwhelmed. Only a tenth of the Muni buses needed to handle the crush of passengers was available, and AC Transit sent buses to help bail Muni out. Caltrain also had its problems this morning. South Bay and Peninsula people jammed the Caltrain stations from San Jose to northern San Mateo County, only be passed up by the 10-car train that headed to the city at 3 a.m. The first train was packed and didn't even stop at some stations. Even Caltrain officials now say they underestimated the crowds.
Oh, it's crazy. I can't compare this to any day since I've been the station master.
How many people have been coming through here from the peninsula?
Oh, maybe the usual weekday is around 3,000.
And today?
But today, too much. 10 cars is not enough.
By the time the second train arrived to pick up passengers left stranded by the first train, Caltrain had moved 5,000 people. That second load of passengers missed the dawn bridge walk, though, but many say they'll just have to enjoy the rest of the party. People driving from Contra Costa County into Oakland had a surprise this morning, too. Only one bore of the Caldecott Tunnel was open, causing a major traffic jam getting through the Oakland Hills. And here's an update on the parking and bus situation in Marin County. At least 60 buses are standing by along Highway 101 to carry people back to the various parking lots now that the bridge walk is officially over. And that's it from the newsroom. And Ross, back to you.
Well, the bridge walk, as they say, is officially over.
You'd never know it to look at it.
I don't think a lot of the official bridge walkers know that yet. Let's go down to Doug Murphy and find out what's going on. Doug.
Well, it's cleaning out down here, Ann and Ross, but we have a wonderful story. It was crowded here today. People make instant friends around here. Way back in 1937, a man saw a woman's address scribbled over here. He wrote that woman. She lived in Los Angeles, and they eventually married. They're still married today. We may have it happening again. This couple met on the bridge this morning. Now you both came with somebody else, right?
Listen, this is not my fault that she went to the bathroom. The last time I saw my friend was about 2 hours ago. We've been in close proximity for at least 1 hour. Our initials are there, and we're going out to breakfast.
You came with some guy?
I came with a bunch of people, and they got caught up in the crowd, and I haven't seen him in about 2 hours. So.
Do you know how big the guy that she was with is?
He's scared of my hat. I'm not worried at all.
So anyway, a couple they met here on the bridge. They're going to go out to breakfast, lunch, who knows. Could be the beginning of another great relationship, and it all started on the 50th birthday of the Golden Gate Bridge. Ann and Ross, a love story, and back to you.
Oh, the old bridge meeting story
but
again.
But any man with a bear hat on can't be all bad.
I wish them luck in even getting to a place where they can have some breakfast.
Oh.
Although, if you're going to Crissy Field today, the tents are many. Well, there are 5 or 6 tents, and they're going to be full of
the bridge
food.
Feast.
Marching bands. We are going to have an antique auto show a little later. Flyover of some antique planes. What do we see here? It's difficult to see our monitors. So
I think we're looking at Crissy Field here. People are starting to filter in so that they can join the festivities there at Crissy Field.
We also heard that the California Highway Patrol helicopter was going to be in the area to drop a parachutist. It's kind of windy. I don't know why they'd be doing that, but we'll find out a little later. Jim Bunn is in the helicopter. Jim?
Well, Ross, let me tell you what the situation is. If we can take a look over here at this CHP helicopter, what the report was, actually, it was a little confused when we first got it, was that there was a report of 1 or 2 people with parachutes on the bridge, and that they were going to jump. And CHP heard about that, scrambled the helicopter quickly up there, and they are making the rounds to make sure that if there are such people on the bridge, that they will not do what they may be planning on doing. A little bit of an update on the ambulance situation. There are now 2 ambulances down by the toll plaza, and one of them does appear now trying to be, I think we're going to, well, you can't really see it. We're awfully far off there, but there's 2 white dots. Yeah, there they are right in the middle. The one ambulance is now trying to head up toward mid-span, or at least closer to where one of these people who reportedly had a heart attack is hopefully getting some treatment right now. Back to you.
Thank you, Jim.
Here we are. Boy.
Well, there have been people who have jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge in the past in parachutes. I think they've even used a bungee cord.
Cord where they jump off like on big rubber bands and just swing. I couldn't do it.
Well, I think you have to be a certain kind of person, just like the people who built the bridge. A little adventuresome.
Adventuresome, to say the least.
Adventuresome might be the safest and the nicest.
Well, you know, there are a lot
of
of people out there that don't want to deal with the traffic, either on the bridge or on the streets. They are in little rowboats, and you think, how in the world can they get out there? They are being towed by Coast Guard cutters and by tugboats, little rowboats, people getting out under the bridge just to take a look at all the festivities from the bottom up, so to speak.
Well, our time is up, but we are going to be throughout the day bringing you all the activities here in San Francisco and at the Golden Gate Bridge. So stay with us, and we'll see you in only a moment.
KPIX presents Bridge Break.
Well, welcome back to Bridge Break. We're going to just take a few minutes out from the Atlanta Golf Classic to bring you some of the highlights of what's going on right now with the Golden Gate Bridge celebration. Apparently, there are still people on the bridge.
Still folks on the bridge. We're about an hour over when they expected to have all that clear and start the antique car show. Once the folks move off the Golden Gate Bridge, we'll get the car show underway and the parade. We also, Ann and I both, would like to thank the person who invented long underwear.
Yes.
Take this opportunity because it's making this much more enjoyable.
We are in our Snuggies. You can't see them, but we are in our Snuggies, and none too warm, I'll say.
Kind of a tug of war between the sun and the clouds, deciding what we're going to have weather-wise, but still a nice day for a birthday celebration.
It certainly is. And Sherry, who has the update on all the traffic and congestion that's going around the Bay Area and here in the city. Let's go to the update desk with Sherry Who and find out what's going on. Sherry?
And Ross, the congestion is still mainly at the site of the bridge activities itself. We understand about 15% of the bridge walkers are still on the Golden Gate Bridge. It was supposed to reopen to traffic about an hour ago, but as you've seen, it's still closed. Here's a picture of it right now. It looks like most of the people have gotten off. 500,000 people jammed the bridge area this morning, but crowds are thinning out some now. Jim Budd and Chopper 5 are hovering over the bridge as police try to clear people off. Jim, what's going on?
Well, Sherry, the situation right now is that there are still a few stragglers out on the bridge. We're going to roll some videotape for you here so you can get a look at just how the police have tried to gently persuade people to leave. As you can see, what they've done is they've come down with basically a phalanx of motorcycles and squad cars, just easing the people off the bridge. The part of the problem that they've had, though, is that as they go by, people go back out on the bridge behind them. Now, one of the critical points in all of this is we come back live, and it's one of the primary concerns of the Highway Patrol at this point is that the usual traffic pattern on a Sunday begins to pick up measurably about 10 o'clock, 30 minutes ago. They were hoping and they were steadfast in their belief that they were going to be able to get the bridge cleared off by 9:30. Obviously, they have not been able to do that, so we may be looking at some serious traffic problems later on. Let's go live down to Vista Point right now to Rolando Santos and see what's happening at that end of the bridge.
Jim, officials are doing their best to try and clear the bridge off, and they're not having much success, particularly down here in Marin. What's happening is that a lot of people are getting off the bridge with no problems, but then they're waiting, taking a last view of the bridge, having a snack perhaps, or just taking pictures. So the bottom line is that there's a bottleneck in Marin right now. Now, as I look over to my left here, I can see a line of buses about 1.5 miles long. They're moving people as much as they can. However, it just takes time. In terms of traffic, we were able to drive as far as San Rafael and back without any major problems. CHP officials tell us that traffic along 101 is lighter than usual for a Sunday, so apparently a lot of people decided they didn't want anything to do with this and stayed home. The bottom line here is that it looks like things won't be open until about 11:30 if they're lucky. So people are being told to stay out of the area, and if you can avoid driving this area, go ahead and do it. Reporting live from Marin County, I'm Rolando Santos. Sherry?
Thanks, Rolando. Now more about Muni. Buses are waiting at 2 staging areas to carry passengers away from the Golden Gate Bridge. Muni buses are at the Marina Green to take people back downtown. Buses are also at Pershing and Lincoln in the Presidio to carry passengers back to the Sunset, Richmond District, and Ocean Beach areas. Muni is trying to stick to a schedule, but some of the buses got trapped in the congestion, and Muni says that only contributed to the problems earlier today. Now, BART trains are running all right, though. Officials there estimate the trains carried 20,000 riders between 3 and 9 this morning. Caltrain carried about 5,000, and Golden Gate Transit says about 10,000 people used their buses today. And that's it from the newsroom. I'm Sherry Hu. And Ross, back to you.
Thank you, Sherry. Ann and I are at the Sherman House, a beautiful little hotel in San Francisco that has this balcony overlooking the San Francisco Harbor. And former Governor Pat Brown has joined us, and we're going to be talking to him after a commercial break about, well, the day he walked across the Golden Gate Bridge when it opened in 1937. We'll be back with Governor Brown right after this.
The Golden Gate Bridge. 50 years ago, the power to mix its concrete, hoist its steel, and spin its great cables was provided by PG&E. Now, in celebration of the bridge's 50th anniversary, PG&E is completing the job. Sponsoring the lighting of the bridge towers, according to the original plan.
It is here at the Sherman House, Governor.
Well, this is my old home, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, we probably in many ways take this bridge for granted, but you had to be kind of in awe of what an engineering feat this was when you walked across it that day.
I certainly was awed because I used to go swimming in Baker's Beach the ocean's a little bit cold, as San Franciscans know, and I saw it before the bridge was even thought of. And then I watched it grow up, watch it grow.
You watched the whole bridge, the construction and everything?
Well, not every day, but you'd come out and see it. And then the day that before the bridge was open, my wife and I lived on Fillmore Street. I could see it from where we're the 3755 Fillmore Street.
Right down there?
Right down the street, that's right. And we'd walk, before the bridge was built, we'd walk out there to Fort Point before the bridge was built and walk back. And we watch it grow, and it's a remarkable thing to come back 50 years.
Now, am I right in saying that that walk out to Fort Point and back was because your wife was pregnant and you were told that walking was good?
Well, she told me that, so I walked with her.
You walked
that's right.
What a good support you were.
Well, I certainly have been. We've been married 57 years, so you have to be somewhat of a support to last that long, particularly anybody married to me.
Now, Bernice did not walk that opening day with you on the bridge, did she?
I can't remember whether she was there or my two little girls. One was 5 and one was 3.
Well, there's a picture right there. It's you, a very handsome and dapper man.
I was a little bit lighter. I smoked cigarettes then, and when I stopped smoking, I gained 30 pounds.
I think Bernice was commenting to us before you came out here that she doesn't really like heights, and walking across the bridge wasn't one of her favorite things to do, so I think she stayed close to home.
Well, she's hiked all over Yosemite under some protest, but she did.
Do you remember being up in the North Tower when ships were going to war?
Yes, I do. My youngest brother was going out, and you weren't supposed to know when the ships went out, but I knew that day he was going, he told me. And I was on the board of directors of the Golden Gate Bridge and Highway District at the time, took the elevator up to the top. I didn't know what ship he was on, but I could see them all leaving. I mean,
what was your feeling then as they all went out to sea?
Well, are they coming back? You know, what's going to happen? It was a very perilous time. And I can remember, too, from where we're sitting here today, one night we thought there was a Japanese bombers around, and we turned out all the lights, so we thought there were...
So you had a blackout here?
We had a blackout here in San Francisco. We were all at a dinner over on, I can't remember what street it was, but we were there.
One of the big fears in the idea to build the bridge in the first place was if it was ever bombed. The military department said if it's ever bombed, it will block the harbor.
Right, they were really frightened of that. It was
but Joseph Strauss said no, it'll all float away and they'll still be able to get through, and he sold it.
It's a magnificent structure, I'll tell you that, and I'm very proud to have been a member of the board of directors for those 2 years.
Well, we're glad that you came to visit us this morning and talk to you about the day you were on the bridge. You're living down in Los Angeles now, a little warmer weather?
A little warmer weather, but this is, we lived in San Francisco all our lives until I was defeated for governor, and then we moved down there. It was the best offer I had. San Francisco didn't appreciate me.
We always appreciate you, Governor.
Thank you.
That way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again for being with us this morning. We're going to go to Doug Murphy now. I believe we're going to Doug Murphy, who is on the bridge, and find out what the situation is in clearing the bridge for traffic. Doug.
Unmarked now.
We'll do is we'll go back to the Atlanta Golf Classic and watch that nice warm weather there for a while, and we'll be back with you in only moments.
All right.
Clear room around her, hopefully not to give birth on the bridge, but to try to get somebody in to get her out to a hospital. But we'll see if we can't follow that story, because wouldn't it be something to have given birth on the bridge on the day of its 50th birthday?
The antique cars, from what we understand, are going across the bridge. Let's go to David Jackson, who is in the South Tower with a little better view than we have. David.
Well, Ross and Ann, I do have a better view. I think I'm beginning to empathize with former Governor Pat Brown's wife, who said she didn't want to walk on the bridge because she didn't like heights. I didn't used to think they bothered me, but I'm really, the more you look down at that bridge deck suspended over the water, the more you think twice about the altitude here. It's a little more comfortable looking this way. You're right, the bridge is clear. The bridge has been cleared for about 45 minutes now, the CHP taking their people across there and getting almost everybody off. We can take a look down on the bridge right now. There are people, quite a few people on the walkways across, but of course no traffic. Just a few of the people that are bridge employees, and now in fact the CHP people are gone. So I would say it was a successful removal of people, even though, of course, that took about an hour to an hour and a half longer than anybody had expected. It should remain clear until we get the cavalcade of cars coming, which, as you mentioned, should be in just a little while. Before we leave this area, I'd like to tell you just a real quick fact about the Golden Gate Bridge. Obviously, it's gigantic, and how big is it? Well, it's so big that it takes 110,000 gallons of paint to paint this bridge, and to give you an idea just how much that is, that's 35 times the amount of paint that it would take to paint the ground area of the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. Still, I think, the world's largest building in square footage. So that is a lot of paint that they've got to put up here, 110,000 gallons. Now, I'd like to go down onto the bridge deck. Doug Murphy is down there, and he's standing by in an area where he should be able to see the cavalcade of cars if they're ready to roll. Doug?
Dave, they're beautiful cars. They're going by right now. The head cars went through a Chrysler and a Cadillac. I think it was a 1937 Cadillac that was one of the originals. If Rick can go off on some of the cars, there's a beauty. I wish I knew the kind. It's got one of those pretty things on the front of it. Well, they're beautiful cars. There are 100 of them, and they're lined up, and they're coming at us right now. Another one going through. Everybody's waving. We have no idea who's inside. Look at that. They're dressed up like the Roaring Twenties in there. It's gorgeous. David, I'm sure you can see it from up there. It must be a wonderful view from up top. The bridge that they never thought would be clear is clear now, and the cavalcade is rolling through. There's a Woody. That one I can tell. It's a Ford Woody. 100 cars, all of them coming from the 20s and the 30s, are rolling right now across the Golden Gate Bridge. Let's go to Anna Ross.
Doug, that technical commentary you have, you like that car with the pretty thing in front of it. It's nice.
Yeah, but there was a wonderful car that went across there, a purple Ford that was owned by a former stripper on Broadway, Fifi LaFew. How about that?
Fifi LaFew?
Yes.
Put on a wonderful show. Oh, there is a group of cars. Are they four abreast? Yes, they're four abreast. I don't know exactly what we're looking at there. I went to the Doug Murphy School of
Actually, 6 abreast. But they are old cars. It was interesting. The first car that I think the mayor might have ridden in was, as Doug said, a 1937 Cadillac convertible sedan owned by Robert Schultz, who found it in a junkyard and paid $135 for it, and that's all. He's completely refurbished it. It was the first car across the bridge in 1937 and again today. Quite a story.
I think originally when he found that in the junkyard, it was $100, and he showed some interest, did not have the $100, went out to gather up the money, and when he returned to buy this car, well, the owner said, I think it's worth $135.
Does that sound like any car salesman you know?
No, not at all. I believe back in 1937, we're having about 9,000 cars a day go across the Golden Gate Bridge, and today you can expect 100,000 to cross that span to get people to and from San Francisco. Jim Bunn is up in the Eyewitness News helicopter. Jim, what are you seeing for us?
Well, he looks like he may be seeing what we are, but probably he's got a little bit better view. I don't know. It must be something. Jim, can you hear us up there in the helicopter?
Well, as you can see, Ann and Ross, the cavalcade of cars is making its way. It's just now at mid-span, and this must mean that the bridge has been cleared. If it's not, it's going to be cleared very shortly. There are some people I see down by the Vista Point area who are actually still on the bridge, but they will obviously be moving shortly as there's a contingent of police officers moving out in front of them here. The cavalcade of cars is all the way back to the toll plaza, so this is a pretty long parade that we're going to have here. And the best estimate that we're hearing at this point is that the bridge itself will be open to traffic within the next 15 minutes, which will mean that the normal wave of traffic that usually hits this bridge about 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday will probably not now hit until between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, which means we may be looking at some serious traffic backups throughout the day, especially considering the fact that there will doubtless be people who are coming in and trying to drive into the Crissy Field area for the afternoon festivities and anticipating tonight's fireworks. So we're going to be looking at an interesting day with the traffic now that things have backed up, although they do seem to be opening up a little bit now, and hopefully we'll find ourselves in a little bit better position to anticipate just how serious the problems are. But the good news in all of this is that the bridge is open, the parade has begun, and will be over shortly, and traffic will obviously be continuing throughout the day as people flock into San Francisco for what promises to be an absolutely fantastic day of festivities at Chrissy Field and the Marina Green and the fireworks over the bridge tonight. Ann and Ross?
One of the beautiful...
Thank you very much, Jim.
Well, I was just going to mention one of the beautiful cars there was a 37 Packard Coupe, which gets about 10 miles an hour on the gallon on the highway and 5 in the city. So it's...
Whoa. Times have changed.
Yeah, why don't we take a commercial break?
Let's do that, and we'll be right back with more of the festivities right after this. Well, we've talked to a lot of people on land today. Let's talk to somebody that's on the sea. Mike Hagedis is on the Jacqueline. Now, the Jacqueline is the last three-masted topsail schooner. He is out on the bay somewhere, and we can talk to him. Mike, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Ann. It's all that nautical talk kind of threw me. How about ahoy there or something like that? That sounds pretty nautical. We are aboard the tall ship Jacqueline out of Marina Bay in Richmond. And here's a view of the Golden Gate Bridge that you may not have seen so far yet this morning, the one from the bay. It is beautiful. And in the foreground, you can see some of the estimated between 4,000 and 5,000 ships that the Coast Guard says is going to take part in today's bay ceremonies. We're getting ready to sail and take our position in the parade of tall ships, which will go out underneath the Golden Gate, back in and down the San Francisco shoreline, and probably go right by Don Blue. Don, you there?
Yeah. Here, this is kind of the thing about a birthday party like this is anytime you go to one, a celebration, you got to have the souvenirs before you leave. I mean, you got to have this. Huh? Does this look good? Do you love this? Huh? Now, the slogan, this is Big Dan who works here. Dan was just, I think, home on vacation for a weekend. He's got the official 1937 blueprint. That's right?
Yep, blueprint of the bridge.
You can build your own bridge with this thing.
Yep.
Also now, what's the theme for this booth today?
The theme for this booth today is put the bridge on your fridge.
That's right.
Official magnet.
This official magnet, so you too can put the bridge on your fridge. Now, put the bridge on your fridge, the official magnet as seen on TV. Huh?
Yep, exactly.
You got it.
And you two get your blueprint as seen on television.
Okay, now we'll check in with Joel Bartlett.
Well, Don, the weather is rather pleasant up here. Now, the sun is playing hide and seek behind the clouds, but the temperature is warmed up to a sizzling 56 degrees, but that's 4 degrees warmer than it was earlier this morning. The winds are from the west around 8 to 12. The clouds aren't bothering us at all. They're making passes over the Bay Area at about 1,500 to 1,600 feet above sea level. The good news is that these clouds are going to stay up rather high, variable amounts of cloudiness through the day, a high temperature of about 60. So if you're coming out to the fireworks tonight, be sure to bring something that's warm, because it will be breezy and cool. However, the clouds aren't going to bother us. The weather will be fine for the fireworks tonight. Reporting live from up in the Marin Headlands, I'm Joel Bartlett. Ann and Ross, back to you.
Put the bridge on your fridge. I wonder if that's going to be one of the slogans they'll be quoting when the Golden Gate Bridge celebrates her 100th birthday. A little later, we got NBA basketball playoffs. They will go uninterrupted here on Channel 5. We will, though, after that, be continuing with our coverage of this celebration. Right now, we're going to head on back to the Atlanta Golf Classic.
May 27th, 1937, workmen were still high on the wires, finishing up. The wind, the fog, the corrosion constantly assault the Golden Gate Bridge. And so every day, crews are up there scraping and painting, preserving, 50 years later, the bridge that some said could never be built.
Around the bridge. However, the delay in reopening the Golden Gate has had a ripple effect. There's about a half-mile backup on Highway 101 at Marin City. That's where cars were being turned around because of the bridge closure. People using the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge are finding smooth sailing when they get there, though. And looking at the situation in the city, there's a pretty good backup stretching from the Chrissy Field area along Lombard and Richardson Drive. That was a direct result of the Golden Gate closure. And throughout the Bay Area, traffic remains light on major roads and freeways. No problem on the Bay Bridge and other highways that were expected to carry the load while the Golden Gate was closed. Apparently, many people are just staying home today, and the usual Sunday afternoon traffic jams just haven't started yet. And that's the latest on traffic from the newsroom. I'm Sherry Hu, and now we're going to go to Doug Murphy over at the Golden Gate Bridge. Dougie.
Sherry, the problem on the Golden Gate is that the Highway Patrol keeps going through and everybody will get off the bridge for a couple of minutes. But as you can see, the Highway Patrol's not around right now and a few people have gotten back on the bridge. But we've got the solution. I think if they just bring the cars through, people will eventually get the idea that they're going to try and reopen the bridge and put cars in there. There's still a pretty good crowd, as you can see over here on the pedestrian walkway. Still a crowd having a good time. They really don't, he doesn't care if they get cars back on here or not. But they will eventually. It's been about 7.5 hours since they have had cars on this bridge, and I would guess within the next 30 minutes they will be able to do it. Mike Hegedus is right over the edge there, down on the Jacqueline. Let's go to Mike. Mike.
Yeah, Murph, we're almost right directly below you now, coming up to the Golden Gate Bridge on board the tall ship Jacqueline out of Marina Bay in Richmond. The parade of tall ships has been taking place for the last 10 or 15 minutes. The bigger ships have gone by. You see the two-masted schooner California, the official state vessel there, and the mist that you see isn't rain yet, but rather the fire boats putting off lots of water. If we swing it back down across the San Francisco side, you'll see some of the other ships. There are about 70 total, and then the large ship off to my left really is the Jeremiah O'Brien as it passes in front of the Crissy Field area. We're sailing now as we go out underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, and let's go to Don Blue now, down around Crissy Field.
All right, well, I'll tell you what you have to have today automatically is, of course, one of these Golden Gate Bridge towels after you take a dip here, and also, of course, the Golden Gate Bridge official fan, because it is that kind of day. If you forget where the event's taking place, it's in San Francisco. However, let me show you what we have decided to award as the best bridge hat of the day. What's your name?
Joan.
Joan, and where did you buy this?
We made them.
Unbelievable. They made them themselves. They even have a little bit of the fog there. Of course, you can expect that next year there'll be a booth that Joan will open, of course, with her friend here. And you can imagine that you, too, will be able to wear one of these with the 51st birthday celebration or whenever the next one comes. Wait a minute. Let me grab these people right over here. The amazing thing is these people have been here for hours now. Excuse me. Hi. What's your name?
Karen Eldridge.
And Karen, how long have you people been here?
Hours and hours.
Okay, now what I want to know is, what are you waiting for? What are you here for?
Isn't something going to happen tonight?
I think so, but how did you pick this? This is the best spot, of course, in the whole place. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, everybody is getting ready. People are coming in, and it won't be long. Ann and Ross, the celebration continues. Back to you.
All right, thank you,
Thanks
Don.
very much, Don.
Deanne Hamilton, our producer, is handing in another one of the souvenirs that is being sold on this 50th birthday celebration of the Golden Gate Bridge. This is an original rivet from the bridge. I don't know how it just happened to fall out, but they're putting them on like pieces of rock and all and selling them. This is probably one of the most or more worthwhile souvenirs. Some of them are a little silly, but well, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to meet the star of cabaret, Joel Grey, who's in town performing at the Golden Gate Theater, and from Live 105, the crazy Alex Bennett. Be right back. Stay tuned.
Star Cabaret, Joel Grey, both of them nice enough to stop in this afternoon and say hi to us. Can you remember, Joel, the first time you ever saw the Golden Gate Bridge and the feeling you had?
I think it was probably about 30 years ago when I first came to San Francisco. And it was magical then. It's got its own aura that I don't think anybody can resist.
You had kind of a different...
I was born and raised here.
Yeah, you're a native San Franciscan.
I didn't have a first impression. I couldn't remember it when I first came out of my mother, but this town's been, I spent almost my whole life growing up here. It was one of those kind of towns that you wanted to, like all kids grow up and they want to move out of their hometown. I can hardly wait to get out of this burg, right? And I moved out of it, and when I came back, I said, why did I ever leave this place? All of a sudden you realize when you get away from it what beautiful it is and how absolutely livable this town is.
What was the time you and some friends were crossing the bridge and saw an animal that is
One night, this was when
normally
I was in high school. We were driving across the Golden Gate Bridge one night, coming back from some party in San Francisco or something. There was a deer on the bridge. A deer on the bridge. So the friend who was driving kind of drove in back of him. The deer started spooking, jumped over the rail, and is the first known deer suicide in the history of the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah. Well, he looked awfully depressed at the time, so I figured there was some reason for it.
Do you know someone actually suggested that they might put a psychiatrist's office at the toll gate to the bridge, so people who are contemplate suicide
I could have
might
used
go
a
there
psychiatrist at the toll plaza occasionally when they took my
shade.
shade.
They scrapped it
Yeah.
immediately because it seemed a little odd. Have you ever included a Golden Gate Bridge song or anything alluded to the...
Yeah, I used to do a Vamps medley at the Fairmont every year, and I did the old Jeanette MacDonald.
Which was...
Open your golden gate, you let no stranger wait outside your door.
It was a good song.
It's a good song.
Your kind of performer could really pull that one off.
What does that mean?
Too.
My kind of performer.
Dynamite.
What it means is that you're kind of...
There goes the iced coffee.
Oh, no!
No.
You can't take him out in public.
Yes, you can. You always do.
You are knocking them dead currently at the Golden Gate Theater.
Isn't that interesting? It's the Golden Gate Theater.
It is.
It's the Golden Gate Theater.
Yeah.
What a tie-in. I didn't even think about it.
No, of course you did. You just invited me for coffee.
Oh my gosh, look at right here. Let's take a look. We are looking at, I believe,
the Jacqueline.
That is the one of the few three-masted schooners still around today, and Mike Hagedis is on there. We want to tell you, too, the traffic is now moving across the bridge, which is encouraging. And, gee...
Is this a shot from Fort Point that we're seeing?
You know,
I think the sales department of Channel 5 has invited a lot of guests to be on the Jacqueline, so they're out enjoying the day, and it's actually getting warmer here in the Bay. It's warmer than it was even an hour ago. The wind isn't as bad, and the sun is
and this is the
really
first
nice.
Traffic coming across the bridge. They look kind of...
We'll never see it that slow again, folks.
I think they probably could have gotten those people off the bridge a little faster had they had a guy with a checkered flag up around the Waldo Tunnel. Just go, okay, guys, go as fast as you can. We'll get them off the bridge.
That's right. Well, Jim Bunn is up in Chopper 5, and he's probably got a pretty terrific view of this, too. Jim, how you doing?
Well, we're doing just fine. This is our bird's eye view of traffic as it begins to move across the Golden Gate Bridge. As you can see, the front wall there of Highway Patrol officers is going to make sure that nobody does a mad dash. This is going to be a slow crawl to start things off, and the buses are going to make sure that nobody bolts through it. But just taking a look back here, just as far as the eye can see, it does not go all the way back to the top of the Waldo grade. So there's not a huge backup of traffic here. I don't think that anybody expected that it would be this light when they first opened the bridge up, but indeed it is. And as we try to pan around here just to take a look up to the Waldo grade and take a look at the tunnel, you can see that it's not just a massive wall of traffic. In fact, it's probably not even a full mile long. So you'll pardon us here as our shakiness is we're getting an updraft from one side and a downdraft from the other. So we're probably going to have to head on out of here, and we'll get back to you later.
We want to thank Alex Bennett and Joel Gray for stopping by and sharing our memories of the Golden Gate Bridge.
It's fun.
Nice day, huh?
Great to see you.
Yeah,
Beautiful
nice
day
to see you.
Cabaret at the Golden Gate Theater through June 14th, and of course Alex Bennett on Live 105.
Forever.
And also the Alex Bennett Comedy Hour tonight at 6 on Channel 44.
Always giving plugs, folks.
I'm learning how to do it.
Do with this man. We have the Atlanta Golf Classic that we're going to go back to right now, and then we're going to be joining the NBA basketball playoffs with the Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons. We will not interrupt the basketball playoffs at all, but be back at 3 o'clock with more of the fun and excitement, and then we're going to spend a lot of time down at Crissy Field where a lot of the activity will be. So enjoy golf, enjoy the basketball game. We'll see you at 3. Bye.
Grand fireworks finale. The big climax to a day full of music, food, Ferris wheels, and good old-fashioned fun. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave McElhatton.
And I'm Wendy Takuda. We are here at the Sherman House with just a gorgeous view of the party on and around the bay.
In fact, with all the threat of a fog, as you can see, it's cleared up. There are just enough clouds to make for a spectacular sunset and setting for the bridge behind us. And with this wind, I think maybe the two of us and you at home have the best seat in the house. So sit back and get ready for the best view in town.
In the next 2 hours, we are going to see a fireworks spectacular. The towers of the Golden Gate Bridge will be formally lit, and Tony Bennett will even give us a few bars of I Left My Heart in San Francisco. We have reporters all over the bay tonight. Let's check in with a few of them right now, starting with Kate Kelly at Crissy Field. Katie.
Wendy, I'm off stage here at the Christie Field where the anniversary celebration show is just about to begin. And what a program it is. As you said, Carol Channing, Tony Bennett, San Francisco Symphony. And we're just about to begin with the anthem. Let's also remind everybody that the seats are being filled to look at the fireworks. Let's go now to Mike Hagedis, who is going to have a unique view at the special event.
Kate, we're about as close as you can get out without actually being on the barges. Things have calmed down out here on the bay so far. Still haven't had the 4,000 to 5,000 ships that the Coast Guard was expecting, most of them hiding back in Sausalito Harbor or in Raccoon Straits, where it's protected. Speaking of being protected, let's go to Doug McConnell up in the Marin Headlands. You find any cover up there, big guy?
Listen, Mike, we've got a great view up here. We've got the best view for sure in the house tonight. The city of San Francisco behind us. We're waiting for the fireworks. We've got all kinds of friendly people up here, families and others to join us. We have got the best view, don't we?
Yeah!
Oh, absolutely. Doug Murphy challenged that down on the bridge.
Doug, you're always getting me in these things. We got the best view, and everybody behind me knows it. We got the best view, right?
Yeah, right!
See what I mean, Doug? We got the best view here. People are starting to build up. They are looking for the good seats, and good seats all along here. That's the story from here. Let's go upstairs to David Jackson.
Oh, Doug, you guys, I will challenge anybody's view. We're watching them put the barges in place here. The wind has, in fact, died down, which is a blessing after the way it's been blowing all day today. And behind me, they're putting all 6 barges in place. We can kind of see the big crowds out there at Christie Field, as Dave McElhatton mentioned a moment ago. But we're saving the best view for last. We're going to sneak around the other side of that tower. You wait. When they start firing off those fireworks, and we're going to give everybody the ultimate view of this. And that's coming up in a little while. Now we go back to Dave and Wendy.
All right, David, he may think that the wind is, or may know that the wind has died down up there on the tower, but down here at Sherman House, it hasn't gotten the message just yet. A traffic jam of people crowded the Golden Gate Bridge this morning. I know because I was in the middle of that mob. By Highway Patrol estimates, nearly 800,000 poured onto the span for the dawn at Bridge Walk. The event scheduled to begin at 6 o'clock. It was forced to start 15 minutes early as walkers pushed and shoved their way onto the bridge despite that human gridlock. Many still found time to take that nostalgic trip down memory lane.
The opening ceremonies of Pedestrian Day in 1937 touched the lives of everyone who set foot on the deck of the Golden Gate. Some brought with them pictures as mementos, but most important are the memories they brought back with them today. Walking the bridge on opening day left an indelible mark on the life of Jimmy Price.
It was a very nice thing. In my 7-year-old eyes, it was a very friendly, fun experience. I feel like it's my bridge. And the greatest thrill I ever received from this bridge, I returned from Korea. I've been gone overseas 27 months, and coming under that bridge at midnight in October of 1951, the thrill was so great the hair on the back of my neck stood up.
George and Louise Schwab were young sweethearts when they watched the Golden Gate Bridge being built. They became man and wife just days before the bridge officially opened and became the first bride and bridegroom across the span when they made Pedestrian Day a part of their honeymoon. The bridge stands as a lasting symbol of their marriage.
We were the first newlyweds and bride and groom 50 years ago to come across the bridge. We got our official badge, and it was just about the same weather as it is right now. A lot of people, a lot of fun. Our bridge is like the Statue of Liberty to New York, to us.
In 1937, the party lasted all day long on the bridge roadway as well as all across San Francisco. 8-year-old Nate Ratner and his father took time out from the Old West Fiesta celebration, going on in Polk Gulch to walk the bridge.
Well, I took off from school and then for the day, came with my father here on the bridge with the old Model T Ford, walked up to the South Tower, walked back. It was very interesting, but nothing spectacular like today with the number of people. I don't think there was over 200,000. I believe today you'll approach about 750,000 to a million.
5-year-old Dennis McFadden walked to the bridge with his mother and father from 6th and Balboa. 50 years later, he drove from San Diego for an important family reunion with his mother, Hazel, who made the trip from Hawaii.
Well, it's the first time we've been together on the bridge since 1937. It wasn't this cold.
I think we made it a little later in the day, and it wasn't quite as crowded as this.
Ray Weaver was only one of dozens of cameras on the bridge in '37, but today his film is some of the rarest. Ray shot what is probably the only existing color footage of the festivities in 1937.
Color film just came out, I think, in about 1935 for 16 millimeter. May have been out for 35 before then. Took shots of the fleet coming in, and then the next day the cars crossing the bridge. It's quite different. I don't think it was quite as crowded then. I think there must be 2 or 3 times as many people here today.
The biggest difference between the pedestrian walk of 1937 and today's dawn walk of 1987 may be the number of people and the time of day. But the greatest similarity is with the pedestrians, the people who will come away with a memento, a picture, a memory that they'll bring with them for the 100th anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge.
I made it, at least to the middle.
Yeah, and I made it all the way across. My wife and I, 40 minutes to make it across, 3 hours to get back.
800,000 people. That's
Yes,
why it took that long.
I know. And my wife had the great line. She said, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I wouldn't do it again for $1 million.
I've heard
Or
a
maybe
number-
50 years.
I've heard a number of people say that today, but it was a great time for everybody.
Indeed.
You know, Janya Hero has been up in the sliced blimp all day. In fact, we had a little view of her over our shoulder there. And we're going to cut right now to Janya Hero to tell us what it looks like from up in the sky. Jan?
That looks like us, all right, the sliced blimp. You know, everybody's been saying they have the best view in town, but Wendy and Dave, we challenge anybody, because from up here in the sliced blimp, 1,000 feet in the air, we can see it all, because we are above it all. From the Marina Green to Crissy Field, we can see the thousands of people picnicking, partying, having a good time. We also see thousands of people on the shoreline right now with blankets and down parkas, we're sure, waiting for the fireworks to begin. We also see the barge, which a lot of fireworks on board. It's going to be a great show. Looking over to Marin, the Marin headlands looks like green velvet. The water is awfully calm. I know everybody's been saying it's windy. It looks just like aquamarine. We even passed over the Sherman House. Back to you, Dave and Wendy.
And we have a terrific view of you, Jan. It looks like fun up there.
Yes, we're watching her as she's watching us. Some of the things that happened on May 27th, the anniversary day, back 50 years ago, 200 rivets were stolen by souvenir hunters. We don't have a count on how many disappeared today or how they got the rivets in the first place.
And?
We'll be back in just a moment, and we'll take you over to Crissy Field and check the action there.
Prairie, cattle and dairy, under a heaven of blue. And right at the tail, the end of the trail, there are thousands of boats sailing through that Golden Gate. I'm coming.
Welcome back to the big birthday bash, the 50th anniversary of the Golden Girl. The Golden Gate Bridge, a beauty shot here, as you can see. And we have a beautiful view here from Sherman House on Green Street in San Francisco, overlooking everything that's going to be going on in the next hour and a half, 2 hours from now. And it's a great view. The neighbors are all out and they're waving. It's a party feeling.
Everyone's out on the balconies. You know, Don Blue, our official Channel 5 party boy, has been out at Crissy Field all day, and we're going to go to Don right now to find out what's going on down there. Don?
Well, let me tell you, this party just continues to go on. It's definitely the biggest party I have ever been to. Don't you people realize that you have to go to work tomorrow? Doesn't that mean anything? Oh, that's right. Never mind. I just had to pay $1 to walk over this lady's quilt right here. There are some entrepreneurs, definitely. It's an incredible party, and I haven't even found the cake yet. Oh, you can rock it, you can roll it, stop it, you can stroll it on the bridge. If you visited any of the parties going on today, you would have found just about anything your little heart could desire. You had to have a hat. Can I have my change, or is this the way you do business? Not everybody was in a festive mood, however. There was your MPs, always kind of a fun bunch. Hey, all right, you guys want a party? Guess not. Okay. There was Art Grant partying on his own whale made out of 72,000 soap bars.
But the thing is, it's all going to be donated to the Salvation Army.
So we'll have some clean folks downtown soon. One of today's partying highlights was the Frisbee dropping dog, Butterlips, and his other brother, Butterchops. Rock and rollin' on the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, yeah! Everybody out, okay? Just the girls now. But hey, everybody came to party, and party they did. Some partied like they did 50 years ago, and some just plain over-partied. By the way, this span right here,
is actually a larger span than the Golden Gate Bridge, what you see right there. One thing that went on all day is still going on, and everybody did it, was eat. And I mean eat. From the awesome to the awful. Chew, bite, stuff, scarf. And of course, what do you do after you eat? Well, if you're a complete idiot like I am, you go ride the rides. Well, I think it was the couple of hot dogs I had, and then it was ribs, wasn't it? And 2 burritos. Well, I thought it was a good idea at the time. But all of a sudden, whoa! I'm not so sure it was such a great idea. What a birthday party. Oh, happy birthday, Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, no more. No more, please. No more.
Well, there goes.
Actually, I feel a little bit better now. Thank you very much. Carol Channing on stage here. We just found out she's a third-generation San Franciscan, and so I think she's invited everybody over afterwards. Should be great. Right now, let's go see what Doug McConnell's into.
Oh, Don Blue, I tell you, you're out there with all those people. Now, we're in the Marin Headlands, an undeveloped piece of land right across from the city. We have lots of deer and bobcats waiting tonight to watch the fireworks as well. And I have some people who have come from all over from, well, here's the McCarty family. You guys got in here last night, what, about 9 o'clock?
About 10 o'clock.
About 10 o'clock, and you spent the night here last night. Now, why would you do that?
To get a good spot to see the bridge and the fireworks.
Well, do you think you survived the cold? Are you guys ready for this? Now, Dan, you got here last night at 9 o'clock. What's your excuse?
Well, we wanted to be here for sunrise this morning, and birthday.
You had a chance to watch all those other people walking across the bridge?
Sometimes walking, sometimes waiting, I think.
So you're ready for this now, huh? All right. Now, we have one more crowd over here. We've got people from Santa Rosa, from Roanoke Park. You're all excited here. Your kids are here tonight. Is there a lot of anticipation?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be beautiful. The sky looks clear. It's going to be a real nice view from here.
We have one of your daughters down here, is 6 years old. Are you excited about this? You going to be here for the 100th anniversary? She will be. I know she's going to be here for the 100th anniversary. A lot of anticipation. I'm going to be 92. I'm going to be back for the 100th anniversary. But David Jackson, now I know he's been waiting all day, swaying back and forth on that South Tower. David, how's it up there?
Exactly as I mentioned earlier in the day, the bridge feels like rubber. I was kind of jealous of Doug McConnell there up in the Marin Headlands because he's got some people around him. We've been pretty lonely up here all day. It's not a place that a lot of people ever get to be, but that's one of the reasons why we wanted to show you some of the spectacular scenery from up here. Right now, as you know, taking a look right down the cable, looking at the 4,200-foot span here between the two towers. At the time they were built, of course, the longest in the world, now the third longest in the world. Nevertheless, it's a wonderful, wonderful sight from up here. We've been arguing all day long about who has, in fact, the most spectacular view, but in the final analysis, we'll leave that judgment up to you.
Here is a story of the Golden Gate Bridge that we hope stands out amidst all the verbiage. In its 50th year, the bridge has become a symbol of status for some. There are the ones who can boastfully claim their view of the bridge would put others to shame. The Carnelian Room, topped the B of A, has a view that's unmatched for a restaurant, they say. And it's easy to see why this view is renowned, for it's perched on the
tallest building in town.
But if food and a view is what you seek, Jim's hot dog stand just can't be beat. $1.25 gets you plenty to see, and Jim says he'll throw in the bridge
for free.
And among the well-heeled, there is great debate. Whose house has the view of the great Golden Gate? Melvin Belli knows that among the jet-setters, his view is the best.
Couldn't ask for anything better.
But from their modest home, Ed and Mary Ann proclaim from their yard, top this view if you can. As campground hosts, their means are modest, it's true, but they can proudly say,
no millionaire has a better view.
And here in the world of Montgomery Street, the more money you make, the higher the suite. So David's convinced that success is his, the proof's in his view.
And there it is.
But Rajani boasts that her job-hawking shirts gives her the best view, or so she asserts. Her view is a beauty, it is clear to see. Plus, she works al fresco.
No stuffy offices for me.
So the question remains, whose view is the best? Perhaps it's the toll takers or painters, you guess. Or maybe it's George who claims with delight that his vantage point is unique.
Wow, what a sight!
It seems clear by now that this question is moot. They all have great views you cannot refute. Yet no one can claim that their view is the best, The bridge is too big to deny all the rest. Who has the best view? Well, it's easy to see. The best view belongs to you and to me.
And the view from here is not too shabby.
But if we don't break up for a commercial, the producer gets crabby. Oh, we almost did it. We almost did it. Listen.
The wind's getting to you.
Yeah, it is getting to you. Before we go to a break, one other little trivia note. The first Boy Scout to cross the bridge, Walter Cronenberger, he camped out at the toll bridge from 7 o'clock the night before. That's being prepared.
At least that's what he told his folks.
We'll be right back. Taking a look at some of the views of the bridge there. Happy birthday, Golden Gate Bridge, on its 50th birthday. We continue our coverage tonight.
Yeah, the excitement continuing to build. So people are getting ready for the fireworks show, and it's a narrated show with music and sound. And I see some people over here on a roof.
There are rooftops all
around. Yeah, and they're
around
hooking
here.
up their stereo speakers so they can hear our audio so that they can not miss a thing.
Getting ready for the big show.
Right.
You know, Mike Hegedus has had a terrific view of the bridge all day. He's been on board the Jacqueline 5. Michael, we've been a little envious of you sitting here.
Wendy, here's something I've always wanted to do.
Ahoy there.
What fun. We've had a real adventuresome time with the high winds and the choppy seas so far on the bay on board the Jacqueline, the tall ship. But it's been an adventuresome one that will be very hard to forget. The high point coming really early this morning. We're back in the Raccoon Straits. Every kind of ship, tall, small, big, and long, assembled for the parade of tall ships. We were part of it and proud of it. It is a moment that will always be memorable.
Today, the bay almost upstaged the bridge in this golden celebration. There were thousands, maybe millions of floating front row seats, parading under the birthday span and jockeying for position for tonight's pyrotechnic extravaganza. Our anchor position on the bay today is the tall ship Jacqueline, owned by the Poes and named after Mrs. Jacqueline Poe.
Well, that's great. We're having a good time, and it's obvious that so many people are excited about what's happening today. We're trying to be a little part of it.
The Jacqueline is a three-masted topsail schooner built in Denmark during World War II. 128 feet of solid ship. The Jacqueline hoists 13 sails with more than 5,700 square feet of canvas. The ship is anchored at Marina Bay in Richmond, and today is the host for guests from all over the country. The parade of tall ships began just before noon, and the flotilla was an impressive fleet. There were Coast Guard cutters and naval minesweepers, tall-masted clippers, and water-spouting fireboats, not to mention the multitude of private pirates plying the water in search of fun and fame.
The aquatic celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge came to a high point when the parade of tall ships passed underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. Some 70 ships in total. A gorgeous aquatic sight, and one that is fitting with the Golden Gate's tradition.
The best part about spending the day on the bay is that when the sun goes down, all you have to do is drop the anchor and pop a few cold ones, and you're ready for the big finale. Bring on the night.
The boats that we're looking at here are the ones that are really out here with us. We never did get the 4,000 to 5,000 that the Coast Guard were predicting. In fact, we have probably more Coast Guard boats out here than we have anything else right now as they protect the safety zone around the fireworks barges. We are not on board this tall ship alone. It's just that the other 60 or 70 people are down below having a nice dinner, and they're warm, which is something that we're not on board the Jacqueline so far. Another guy who probably isn't too warm is Doug Murphy up on the Golden Gate Bridge. Doug, what's it like up there?
Hey, Mike, it's cold up here. It sounds like you got a real tough job down there popping a few cold ones. We got a dispute up here on the bridge. Everybody thought they came out today for the birthday party for the Golden Gate Bridge. No way. It was for this lady, Phyllis Evans. She was born the same day the bridge was. Hey, happy birthday. Same day the bridge opened.
Thank you. May 27, 1937.
Is it tough sharing that day with another special lady like yourself?
No way. I love it. We're sisters.
Go ahead. Blow the horn for yourself. All right. Happy birthday 50 to the Golden Gate and to Phyllis Evans. Mac, I know that you know Phyllis because on her 40th, you shared the birthday with her, huh?
That's right, Doug. On the 40th anniversary, I said, well, I'll see you in 10 years, and I just did. And I told her then that her hair was the color of the bridge, and I noticed that it still is. She is quite a lady. Her mother wanted to call her Bridget.
And she should have.
I
What a
think
great
so,
name.
too. But she ended up officially with Phyllis. Well, that was 10 years ago, and a lot has gone on since then. Both Patricia, or Phyllis it is, and the bridge were born during a very troubled time in the history of this country. In fact, when you consider the time, it's amazing that the Golden Gate Bridge ever got built at all. It was a cool Sunday afternoon when politicians, businessmen, and onlookers gathered at Crissy Field for groundbreaking ceremonies marking the official start of construction of the Golden Gate Bridge. The date was February 26, 1933. The country had plunged into the worst economic depression in its history. 16 million people were out of work. A new president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, promised better times. Across the Atlantic, Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany, and Nazism began its deadly march across Europe. These were dark times, a fact that didn't seem to faze San Franciscans. True to its singular character, the city seemed to be marching to a different drummer, even though 1 out of 4 of its workers were out of a job. The city and the Bay Area were determined to buck the times. The Bay Area was experiencing a building boom. They were going to build themselves not just 1 bridge, but 2. In May of 1933, construction started on the Bay Bridge. It was in 1934 that San Francisco established itself as a labor town. In May, a violent confrontation between police and striking dock workers left 2 men dead. Bloody Thursday led to a general strike that eventually shut down the city. But the strike did not involve the workers on the bridge, and by this time, cranes atop the Marin Tower were putting the finishing touches on that monolith. While organized labor heated up the summer of '34, people were having a good time. Barely over 100 brave souls ran the bay to breakers. For the more sedentary, you could buy a bleacher seat for 40 cents at Seals Stadium and watch Joe DiMaggio play ball for the San Francisco Seals. 50 cents got a full dinner at the Gold Spike restaurant in North Beach. And when it was time to go to work on Monday mornings, people commuted on hundreds of ferry boats that crisscrossed the bay. From those boats, they could see the North Tower of the bridge completed. In 1935, the South Tower was finished. The economy was showing new signs of life. In San Francisco's Sunset District, you could buy a new home for about $6,000. A flat in Pacific Heights rented for about $35 a month. In 1936, as the cables went up on the bridge, there was a general feeling of optimism about the future. San Francisco and the Bay Area were taking a more international outlook. Construction started on Treasure Island, site of the World's Fair, and Pan Am inaugurated clipper service to the Pacific. When the Bay Bridge opened in November, the Bay Area was clearly in a mood to party, and party it did. 6 months later, the celebration continued when the Golden Gate Bridge finally opened. It was a tribute to the determined spirit of the Bay Area that the bridge was built during the worst economic period of our history. A lot has changed since then, but one thing is constant. The Golden Gate Bridge is still a beauty.
It sure is. And right now we're going to go to Kate Kelly, live at Crissy Field, who's standing by with a special guest, a man who put San Francisco on the map with a song. Katie?
That's right. When someone has style, Wendy, they have style. Tony Bennett was performing here today in a one-time only performance at Herbst Theater for a private group. But in order to get here tonight and get through these crowds, he was helicoptered, took a car, and he's here with us now backstage at Crissy Field. Tony Bennett, thank you for coming tonight.
Thanks.
You did an awful lot to get here. It must mean a lot for you to be here.
Well, of course. This is such a beautiful day. It's magnificent, actually. Look at that great, all those beautiful people there. It's so lovely to be part of all this.
Have you had a chance to watch or participate in any of the celebrations today?
I watched all day, yes. I was watching TV and watching it from my window also. It was a great day for me to watch. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you're going to be part of it in just a few minutes. Is there anything you're looking forward to tonight in particular?
Well, just singing with the San Francisco Symphony is pretty nice. I call that slumming.
That's right. Now, I understand this is not just the 50th anniversary for the bridge. This is also an anniversary for a very special song.
Well, it's the 25th anniversary. It was 25 years ago I recorded I Left My Heart in San Francisco, so it's also another kind of birthday, too, so it's very nice.
We'll be celebrating both of them here tonight in just a few minutes.
Yes.
We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Kate.
And thanks for being out here. That's Tony Bennett. He'll be performing in just a few minutes on stage. That's it from here, backstage at Crissy Field, Dave and Wendy.
And we're all looking forward to hearing that.
And that's right, a silver anniversary and a golden anniversary. That's what they call in show business a twofer tonight.
It's terrific. And we will be right back with more party shenanigans.
It's coming my way, just beyond the Lincoln Highway. Going strong now, won't be long now. Open up that Golden Gate.
To equal the combined height of both towers in the Golden Gate Bridge, each one 746 feet above the ocean below. Take that, New York City.
Welcome back to Sherman House, where we're getting ready for the big party celebration, the fireworks and the entertainment. The wind is driving that overcast back in.
Driving us crazy.
Yes, but still high enough that the fireworks should take place. The temperature is dropping, it's getting colder, but the party spirit is still warm.
And best of all, no fog, which is what we were all worried about. You know, Don Blue has been partying all day long down at Crissy Field, eating burritos and riding on the rides and doing all that kind of crazy stuff. And we're going to go back to our Channel 5 party boy right now to find out what he's doing right now. Don?
Well, I'm not going to say, actually, that these people are really partying here, but just a moment ago, when the Slice blimp went by, about 5,000 people said, "Mix, bring it on in." This place is and has been going for hours and hours. The Symphony was just up. Have you been to the Symphony before? Come on over here in the light.
No, I haven't been to the Symphony. I just moved here 5 days ago.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is the kind of thing that happens here almost every weekend. There was the Beta Breakers last weekend. Now this next weekend, I'm not exactly sure what the event is, but I'll guarantee that if you come back here, there'll be another party, all right?
I'll be back. I live here now.
Oh, good, good.
So
well, welcome.
I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
This is going to be absolutely perfect. The party continues now off to Doug Murphy.
This time of the show, we were going to come up here on the bridge and go car to car and talk to people who were waiting for the fireworks. But guess what? Traffic is moving, at least here on the bridge, just perfectly. Things are flowing by. I mean, it's easier than you would expect it to be on a normal Sunday night with people going back home to Marin County. It's a pretty night. But back up Doyle Drive, we understand with the people coming into this area, there is some backup. That's the story here on the bridge. Traffic moving fine. Dave and Wendy, back to you.
And that was one of the minor miracles. They were able to clear the roadways so quickly. People were so cooperative, and they could get the bridge operating again.
Everything has been smooth today, really.
It really, Tony Bennett, you saw him just a few moments ago. You'll see him in action a little later on. He certainly has immortalized San Francisco in song. And when you think about it, we live in a place that is one of the most celebrated and photographed places in the world. Usually, when they photograph in the Bay Area, the star of the show is today's birthday girl, the Golden Gate Bridge.
If you were a director and could go anywhere in the world to make a movie, what better place than the mysterious, the magical, in fact, the only city where a fog machine is never needed, San Francisco. And the world's greatest prop? Well, that would be the Golden Gate Bridge. The bridge has been the scene for murder, romance, and some pretty amazing cliffhangers. It has been mangled, strangled, and seen some spectacular falls. But before it was even completed, the Golden Gate Bridge made its film debut in the 1936 classic San Francisco. From the ashes rises a vision of the new San Francisco, complete with the half-built Golden Gate Bridge. Now, one of the most famous San Francisco movies of all time wasn't even shot here. The Maltese Falcon made ample use of painted city backdrops and model bridges.
Where are we? In the tunnel leading to the Golden Gate Bridge. Where are you taking me? San Francisco, to my place.
But Humphrey Bogart did visit the Golden Gate Bridge in his next San Francisco film, Dark Passage. At that time, Hollywood's highest-paid actor, Bogart brought with him the luminous Lauren Bacall.
Have I done something wrong?
I don't know yet, miss. Where are you going?
San Francisco.
Now, if you thought the traffic jam was bad this morning, you should have been there in 1959 when they closed down the bridge for this scene from Stanley Kramer's On the Beach. It's 1964, and an all-out nuclear war has depopulated most of the world. I always wondered how the director convinced everyone to evacuate the city. What's the greatest bridge movie of all time? Well, many think it's Alfred Hitchcock's hypnotic thriller, Vertigo. Hitchcock put Fort Point on the map in this scene with Jimmy Stewart and Kim Novak in her greatest role. "20 years later, Mel Brooks returned to Fort Point as a psychiatrist with a fear of heights. In this Hitchcock spoof, High Anxiety.
I am not going to listen to any more of this. I mean, I've had just about enough. You are an animal.
San Francisco, 23rd century, the final frontier. In 1986, the crew of the Starship Enterprise came here to film Star Trek IV. How many times have you wished you could do this while crossing the Golden Gate? In her 50 years, the Golden Gate Bridge has enhanced some of the greatest films of all time. Now, all the stars who have worked with her are coming back for the Big Bash. From all the people who have fallen from the bridge and fallen under her spell, happy birthday, Golden Gate Bridge. The cinema salutes you.
The only trouble with playing a scene with the Golden Gate Bridge is you know going in you're going to be upstaged.
That's right. You know that officially the color of the Golden Gate Bridge is called International Orange. And do you know one reason why it was chosen?
Why was that?
Because you can see it in the fog. Take that, New York. We'll be right back. Just a beautiful, beautiful night up here. It is clear. Night has fallen. You
That's
can
got
see
to be the Jacqueline.
That's the Jacqueline
yes,
right
with
there.
her night lights on.
We're going to be going to Mike Hegedus there in just a second. You know, everyone was so worried about fog tonight. It's a clear night. San Francisco is really in a party mood. People are out on their roofs. You can hear cars honking, people down on the streets.
Our neighbors have been into the Chardonnay. They're having more fun than anybody.
The neighbors are having a ball, and they keep yelling at us over the rooftops. We're going to go right now to Mike Hegedus, who is out in the cold on the Jacqueline. Michael.
Yes, Wendy, things have started to warm up just a little bit here on board the tall ship Jacqueline, and this is one of the reasons. This is the Dog Watch Nautical Band. We enticed them from upstairs to come on upstairs and provide a little entertainment. This is John Berger. He's the leader of the group. Who are the other members of the group, John?
We got Roger Bramble on vocals, Gary Keeps playing concertina right now, Claire Beilharst on dulcimer, and Jerry Peterson on the guitar.
All right, a little listening pleasure for you now, folks. This is the Dog Watch Nautical Band, a sea shanty. What else? All right, where else but on the tall ship Jacqueline, the high seas brought to life via music. All right, you got any bands up where you are, Doug McConnell?
Oh, my goodness, we don't have any bands up here, but we've got families with us. My little son, Nicholas, we're keenly waiting for the fireworks. Are you excited, honey? Yeah, very excited. We in Marin, we know how to relax, and we have a laid-back kind of a party. We've got food up here. People are eating, relaxing. The Mazza family is right here with me. Are you guys excited about the fireworks coming up?
Yes, we can't wait. We can't wait.
I can tell about that. You can't wait to eat that hot dog. Now, you said something about bridge. What's the thing about outer space people?
If the spacemen landed right now, they'd say, oh, look at all these bridge worshipers.
Well, we're bridge worshipers up here tonight, that's for sure. Let's see. We have some other people along here. You guys excited about the fireworks coming up?
Yeah, very monumental.
Whatever that word was, it definitely is. And my family over here, too. My wife, Kathy. Kathy, you ready for this one? Unforgettable, right? Oh, I'll tell you, very laid back, very big out here in Marin. We're excited about the fireworks, and we're looking forward to it. Now, Kate Kelly is standing by with a very, very special guest. Kate?
That's right, Doug. We're here with Mayor Dianne Feinstein, who we saw out on the bridge earlier this morning, and she was also, you're here now at Chrissy Field. You're out at the bridge walk. What's your assessment of all the day's activities?
Oh, my assessment is the people who get the medals are the people. I think people were wonderful. It's been a great crowd. They put up with a lot of inconvenience just to go through the moment. And the crowd estimates now are over 800,000. And what was anticipated, according to the experts, was anywhere from 10 to 200,000. So you can see there was an overload on all circuits. No major arrests, no major accidents. And it was really the people. They were mellow, they cared, they were patient on a very, very crowded and gridlocked bridge. They waited for buses for hours, and super.
It's coming on. Is there any one aspect of all these celebrations that is particularly special to you?
Oh, I think the particularly special part is upcoming. It's going to be the fireworks and the lights, I think.
We understand it's going to be quite a show. As someone who grew up here and as someone who's running this city, this must be personally a very unique moment for you.
Well, it is a unique moment. I forget how special people are. And when you see them out here tonight, every size, shape, creed, color, and you saw them on the bridge, and all to go through a moment in history. And that's the specialness about this city.
And you've been right out there in the crowds. We've seen you all day long. Thanks for joining us right now. We'll look forward to the fireworks. All right. And that's it from offstage here. Dave and Wendy, back to you now.
All right, we were just looking at that picture, and it looks like daylight there. And actually, that's the band shell. It's that white tinting that's enclosing the San Francisco Symphony as they play away for the crowd.
You just know everything.
Well, that's the one thing I do.
Okay, one little note for you.
The one thing you know.
The one thing that I know, and this is for other worriers in the audience like I am. It's my hobby, is worrying. Don't worry about the Golden Gate Bridge during a big earthquake, because it's made to withstand an earthquake the size of the great earthquake in 1906. So now you can rest assured, and we will be right back.
Why doesn't that make me feel better?
San Francisco, open your Golden Gate.
Concrete in the pier below me weighs 45,000 tons, and I definitely bet you didn't know that that's more than the weight of 6,400 African elephants.
Telesis. It means progress intelligently planned. This is a story of Telesis. I got to San Francisco in '34 to work on the Gate Bridge, and could see right away those engineers were talking about a span longer than sane men would dream of. It was then that the earthquake stories began to take on new meaning. We found out what we were made of up there. And there wasn't one man who finished that job 4 years later that didn't feel he'd built something most other men couldn't. Pacific Telesis salutes the special kind of progress that results when those who can see the future also have the courage and skill to take us there. The Pacific Telesis group of companies is committed to progress intelligently planned. That's why Telesis is an important part of our name.
And the party continues. It is a clear, beautiful night as the city waits for the most spectacular fireworks show the West Coast has ever seen. It's just beautiful up here.
And Jan Yanahiro is getting a non-stop endurance record. She's been up in the Slice blimp since before dawn this morning. It's a British-made blimp. It comes fully equipped. It even has a full toilet with a window in it. Since it's a British blimp, they call it the loo with a view. Jan, how's the view from up there right now? You're just about over.
We've been up here on the Slice blimp now all day long, all afternoon. And everybody, I know you're curious, well, what does it look like inside? Here it is. This is the Slice blimp, not the Goodyear blimp. This is larger than the Goodyear. It carries 12 paying passengers. Now, I talked about the view. Look at that. Windows all around. As we look at the city now, San Francisco looks like a city of jewels. Diamonds, rubies, emeralds sparkling toward us. It feels just like riding an airplane. It's 6 stories high, about twice as long, and when the wind comes up, you sort of rock back and forth. Now, we've been up here 8 hours. The crew, Robert Ashley and Tom Diesendorf, have been up here since 6 this morning. They've enjoyed breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'll tell you, not to worry. There's a facility right back there, and when you use it, you have a view. We may have the best ride in town, but Rita Channon may have come up with the ultimate ride in a vintage biplane.
Just after sunrise, more than 24 pilots, passengers, and vintage biplanes crossed the Golden Gate Bridge in a once-in-a-lifetime chance to honor its 50th anniversary. We called ourselves the Dawn Patrol. We met at Marin County's Hamilton Air Force Base. Men and women from all walks of life, from all over the United States, led by proud pilots like Terry Vick, who all dreamed of flying over the Golden Gate.
This is a chance to not only fly and enjoy the solitude of flying, but in a sense, to share it with those people down on the bridge.
Gets me right down here, really exciting. Yes, indeedy. I wouldn't have missed it for anything.
And these planes, well, they may be antiques, but they've still got a lot of spunk. We were at the bridge and nothing flat.
It's so noisy up here, you really can't hear yourself sing. But you haven't seen the bridge until you've seen it like this, with wall-to-wall people.
It seemed like millions of people, and they were watching us as we linked in the sky over one of America's greatest landmarks, a symbol of opportunity, beginnings, and homecomings. It may take another 50 years before they do it again, but if I'm around, you can bet I'm going to see it from the sky.
Rita may have quite a ride in that biplane, but this is like riding in your own living room, 1,000 feet in the air. Look at my living room window. Look at the view from this. We're talking a beautiful city with all the jewels in the world just sparkling right at us. Again, I say diamonds, rubies, and diamonds, and rubies and more. Dave and Wendy, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jan. And what a thrill that was to be on that bridge during the dawn walk and see those planes come over.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
you're an airplane fan from
That's-
way back.
that's
so
true.
That's your big moment.
Yeah.
One little more note for you. A fellow by the name of Milton Pilhashe tried to push a pillbox with his nose across the bridge 30 years ago, but he gave up after 100 feet.
And after people said, "You're just a pill, Milton."
We'll be right back.
Mountain and prairie.
They're getting ready for the fireworks show.
Well, Wendy, we understand the traffic is building up at the ends of the bridge, but on the bridge, it's moving just fine. This is a shot of some of the people who are lining up, even the workmen, you can see them down there, in anticipation of the fireworks. A little girl came up to me a couple of minutes ago, and she said, "Make the fireworks start now." That's about how we feel. Dave and Wendy, back to you.
This is Jim Budd up in the chopper. We're going to take a look at some of the first traffic problems we've had we've been up here for 15 hours now, so let's take a look outside here. What you're looking at is the Waldo grade heading toward the Golden Gate Bridge. There's the Golden Gate Bridge in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. We are looking at a 3-mile backup, and it is building rapidly as people are trying to come in for the last minute to make the fireworks display. It's going to be a problem because these people are being turned off at the Alexander Drive exit ramp. They are winding up going across the bridge, and doubtless they will wind up heading either to Lombard or to Doyle Drive, somewhere down in San Francisco, and there's not much place for them to go when they get down there. So traffic is beginning to build, and the problems that we anticipated earlier today are beginning to come to light. Let's go down on the bay now and find out how things are with Mike Hegedus. Mike.
Yeah, Jimmy, the boat situation down here on the bay is about the same as it was as our last report. There are not that many boats out here getting ready for the fireworks. The boats that are here, however, are the most important ones. Those are the fireworks barges. Now, there are 6 of them. There will be 3 lined up, which you can't see over my shoulder, but take my word for it. There are 3 lined up in front of Christie Field. There are 2 more down by the Golden Gate Bridge, and then a special one off to the one side, towards the North Tower. They will all be, at one time or another throughout the evening, simultaneously firing between 10 and 20,000 fireworks shells. Not to mention this fantastic 4,200-foot waterfall that will cascade down off the lower deck of the Golden Gate Bridge itself. Now, in case you missed the fireworks or in case you want a little sneak preview, we've got one for you. Everybody else may have trucks and buses and bridges, but baby, we've got the fireworks that are yet to be seen. Are these wonderful fireworks? Here's a little preview of the Golden Gate Bridge fireworks. And there's the grand finale. You heard it here first on board the Jacqueline out of Marina Bay in Richmond, folks. Now, Mac and Wendy, back to you.
Well, we'll have the real thing for you shortly. $400,000 worth of fireworks, one of the biggest shows ever, and one of the most dramatic and innovative shows ever coming
Biggest
up.
the West Coast has ever seen.
And we're just a moment or two away from Tony Bennett, who's going to sing his signature song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. He's just about at that point in the program down on Christie Field. You know, Tony Bennett is the best singer in the business. You know who said that?
Frank Sinatra.
Oh, you peaked.
I read that someplace.
He did. He said it. And the son of a grocer from Astoria, Queens, Antonio de Benedetto grew up singing and drawing pictures. He said that his scuffling years began to end in 1949 when he auditioned for a review. Pearl Bailey was in at the old Greenwich Village Inn. Bob Hope heard him in the show and asked him to come up and sing at the Paramount Theater. And he said he didn't like the name. He said, I think we'll call you Tony Bennett. And the rest, as they say, is history. There's the band shell on Crissy Field in the crowd watching the San Francisco Symphony. And here comes Tony Bennett.
I left my house in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fire may chill the air. I don't care, my love waits there. San Francisco, above the blue and windy sea. When I come home to you, San Francisco, the golden sun will shine for me.
Calling for more, but there's not going to be more from Tony Bennett. They're now about to go into the grand finale, which should be quite a show in itself.
That's right. We're expecting Carol Channing to come on stage, as well as the star of Beach Blanket Babylon.
Karen Parks.
Karen Parks. And also 42 kids who are members of the Event of the Year.
And we don't know about Karen Parks. She may wear one of those Beach Blanket Babylon hats if the wind isn't...
Pretty wild.